Okay, students, so today we're going to be going over loan structure. Um, I have all four projects pulled up. So by the time you start working on this, you should know which individual project you're likely to be working on. There are three projects that you guys will be assigned, and then there's one project that we'll be doing together in class, and also the project that I'm going to be basing um, these videos on. That project is this one, titled Example Project Iron Plow Grains LLC. So with Iron Plow Grains LLC, we're going to click into it, and we're going to need to open Commercial Banking Excel, which is titled 0 Commercial Banking Excel, and I already have it open over here. And then we're going to need to open project, or the file titled project, and then I need you to open number 4, loan structure iron plow. And yours should be titled something similar. It's going to be titled something similar to loan structure, but it's definitely going to be number 4. And then you're going to need to open loan analysis draft, and then number 1, project template. And for now, we'll put this in the background so you can minimize it. Okay, so we've gotten this, Control C, and I'm gonna move it over here just for the sake of me not having to go back and forth between these two things. So I'm gonna exit this out. Okay, so we've got our little chart here. We'll keep that handy. We'll put it underneath there. This is so that we can know what step that we're on. This arrow. Right now, we're on loan amount. Okay. I want you to take note of these charts, this chart, the glossary, and this. So anyways, loan request. This loan request is from Iron Plow Grains. It's a revolving line of credit, which means we're going to be working out of the revolving line of credit line. It's worth $1 million. Our collateral is AR and inventory. The term and amortization of 12 months. The rate is a risk rating 5 plus Wall Street Journal Prime. The type is interest only. And remember, all revolving line of credits are always going to be interest only loans. The fee is going to be 15 basis points, and that goes with our policy for revolving lines of credit. And the rating is going to be 5. The guarantor is going to be Jonathan Verde. And the corporate structure is a LLC. Okay. So with that, I want you to take note of this red yellow arrow pointing toward loan amount. So first things first, we're going to click loan amount, and that's going to take us down to here. I'm going to drag this with us. And now we can see that there are instructions in case you get lost. There's instructions to the right with pictures, and then there's the instructions. Now I know what to do. This is 1 MM, which means this is $1 million. If it was 3 MM, it would be $3 million. Now, if it was 3M, let's say this didn't exist, that M right there, and it was just 1M, then it would be $1,000. Each M takes it up to a different level. So 1M $1,000, 1 mm, $1 million. Okay, so where it says amount, okay, so where it says amount and where revolving line of credit line up, so it lines up with the amount and aligns with revolving line of credit, we're going to type in $1 million. And now it should populate right here. So for term and amortization, we're going to click. That's going to bring us down to here. To term and amortization. Remember, these are instructions in case you get lost. You can read it. And then there's also pictures to the right. So loan amortization is going to be 12 months. So remember, this is a revolving line of credit, guys, and that means that our term and our amortization are going to line up. They're going to be equal. They're going to be equal because this is fully amortizing. You can only fully amortize revolving line of credits. You can't have an amortization longer than the term on a revolving line of credit. So now we're going to go down. We're going to click guarantors and collateral. And again, there's instructions to the right. And then there's instructions here. Now for this one, our guarantor is going to be Jonathan Verde. We only have one. Jonathan Verde. And then we have collateral, accounts receivable, and inventory. I just double clicked here and that spread it out for me. It auto fits. Okay, so now we're going to go down to loan to value computation. Remember, this is a revolving line of credit, so we're actually not going to compute a loan to value. Or there is no loan to value, but this is here in case you end up needing to use it. Okay. So click here for steps on risk rating and index. So that's going to take us down here. Risk rating and index. Remember, there's also these things over here. Okay, to the right. So we're going to type in column D, row 13, which aligns with revolving line of credit number 1, and column D, risk rating and index, D13. We're going to type in RR5 plus WSJP. And you guys are probably going to have SOFR or FHLB or something like that. Just know you type in risk rating, the number, and then you're going to type in plus Wall Street Journal Prime or FHLB or whatever you want. You can put the number sign there. You can not put the number sign there. It doesn't make too big a difference to me. Just make sure that it says RR, a number, and the index. Okay. Now we're going to go down to financing fees. Financing fees. And this is where things start to get a little complicated. So in financing fees, enter BIPs here. Financing fees, we're given financing fees in the form of BIPs here, in the form of basis points. So you see where it says loan request, fee, 15 basis points. So right here, we're gonna type in 15. Oh, mine is protected. Yours might be protected too. Just unprotect it. And if you don't know how to unprotect it, go into view. Oops. Go into review, and then there should be something like this, and you just click it. And if you have a MacBook or something like that, it might say something else, but it should have a lock symbol, and then you just click that and it'll unlock it. So anyways, let's get back to it. There's a fee, 15 bips. We're gonna do 15, enter, and that's gonna give us a decimal, right? So now we're gonna go up here to where it says financing fees, go down to fee in actual figs, that's column E, and then the row 13, which aligns with the revolving line of credit. So we're gonna do equals, we're gonna go up to this, C5 times, oops, times F125. Now that's one way to do it. You can also just type in 0.0015. That would have saved me some time. And now we have our financing fees. I hope you're following along. I know it gets a little complicated, especially once we get to this section. Okay, and now we're gonna go down to index rate. Index rate is a little bit more complicated, guys, so bear with me. Okay, index rate. And this is gonna take us down to here. So the thing about indexes is that the index is the rate that we charge. The index is the rate that we are charged to borrow money. Remember, when we're giving out a loan, we're giving out somebody else's deposits with the bank, and we're charged a rate on those deposits, and that rate is averaged out with the rates that other banks are charged on their deposits, and we end up with an index. And there's also indexes that are determined by rates that we charge other banks to borrow from us. So we'll give a loan to another bank, and we'll charge them a rate, and we average out all the rates that different banks are charging each other, and that's actually how we come up with SOFR. Wall Street Journal Prime is determined by the Federal Reserve. They just, find out what rates look like. Federal Home Loan Bank, Treasury rates, and all those different things, all those good things. So anyways, we have our percent here. So let's go in and let's go to click in Wall Street Journal Prime, which is going to take us to the Wall Street Journal Prime section. There's Wall Street Journal Prime here, the steps, and then there's also pictures to the right of what you want to look for. And this is going to tell you what to look for, right? Just in case you get lost. And remember, there's also a button right here that'll take you back over here. Okay, so let's go and do that again. Wall Street Journal Prime, fedprimerate.com. We're going to click into that. Oh, what? Oh, wrong site. Oh, man. Wall Street Journal Prime. Okay, so we're going to end up on a site that looks like this. And then we're going to gather the rate from here, 7.50. So today, the prime rate is 7.50. So we're going to type in 7.50 here, which is going to get us 0.0750. So we're going to take that, and that's going to give us 750 bips. So Wall Street Journal Prime today is 750 bips. And now we're going to go all the way up back to this. And remember, this is a risk rating 5. So for a risk rating 5, Wall Street Journal Prime, that's going to be 2.25. So we're going to charge 2.25 above 750 bips. So let's go back down. All right, 2.25, which is going to get us 225 bips. So the spread is how we make profit in the bank. The spread is the rate that we charge above the cost of funds, above the index rate. So when we combine those two, we end up with a coupon. The coupon is the rate that the borrower pays. So the borrower is paying us our profit, and the borrower is also paying us enough to pay whoever it is we're borrowing our money from. So we're borrowing, we add on top of that, and then that's what we charge the customer. After you fill this chart out, then you'll end up with a ROA, which is your return on asset. Remember, banks don't make a lot of money on loans that we give out. So when you see this revolving line of credit, when you see this ROA of 1.34, that means that on this $1 million, we're gonna profit 1.34%. That 1.34 is a configuration of the financing fees plus the spread that we charge over these 12 months. So we're gonna make 34 cents. And we're gonna make 1 penny for every dollar that we've loaned out. We're gonna make 1.34%, which is a very, very thin margin. In fact, if we were to lose this $1 million, let me just calculate how much it would take to get this $1 million back at 1.34%. So it would take $74 million to get that $1 million back if we lost that $1 million. So if our borrower defaults here and we're expecting a 1.34% return, if we lose this $1 million, this is how much money we would have to give away to make this $1 million back. It takes $75 million to make $1 million of profit. So remember, we're very cautious when we give these loans away, guys. We don't want to just give anybody money. We want to give good customers good rates. And you know, anybody who, you know, they want just anything, they just wants to throw the money, we can't do it. That's just the fact of it. You know, we just can't do it. That's just dangerous. That's irresponsible. And we want to be responsible, guys. So anyway, that's the first part of this lesson. Hopefully you paid attention and you learned. And I'll see you next time.